Yeah,
Nope.
dude, because you're sure there's a T-Rex just waiting to eat you. That's
Something.
awesome. I don't
From
know.
there, we went to a different jungle place, and this was more like jungle that you would think of from South America. And in there, they had a monkey species that hung out in their little resort kind of area. And so these were howler monkeys. So I don't know if you've ever heard howler monkeys, but it is the most ominous sound that you will ever hear when you're out in the
Yeah.
middle of the jungle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's creepy.
It's like a shriek, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a video. I'll find a video and play it. But so luckily they told us about it, and we were there for 3 days. And the first couple of days, like we saw them moving a couple of times, but we never really heard them. And they said usually they'll start up at night, and it'll be between like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, we didn't hear it at all. Didn't get woken up by it until the third day. We're out swimming at like I don't know 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, and we just start hearing the scream, and we're like, "What is that sound? Like, what is going on?" I made a joke to one of the other guests that it was a howler monkey getting eaten by a jaguar because that's like it sounds like something's dying out there. And it was so loud. Literally everyone in the resort or that was around you was just like, what is that noise? We went hiking up, and that's their call. We found them hanging out in a tree. But and so like you hear it, and you're like, wow, that's an ominous noise. Like it's a pretty intense call. What's going on? But then nightfall comes. You're down at like the main resort. You finish eating and whatnot, and you're walking back up to your room, and it's just a path through the jungle basically. And they start howling again. And that's that sound that you're talking about where you're like, nope, I'm going inside. Like I knew what it was, but at night, pitch black jungle, and you hear this thing, you're just
And
like,
then dudes can see.
you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not messing with that.
When I was in Africa the first time, we went up and I was hunting, and they get hunting all kinds of animals, and they had put out a bunch of expired oranges because they were having a bit of a drought, and so they feed the animals. They bring in these big trucks and they put in oranges, and so you can sit on the oranges, right? Because all of these animals are going to come in, and there's probably 10 animals around these oranges, and they're just eating them up one after the other. And all of a sudden, I hear this shriek. There's a big, I don't know, I'm going to say big, but it was a bit of a mountain behind it, right? That mountain's a relative term depending on what part of the world you live in. But, big mountain goes up trees, covering it, goes up behind where they had laid out these oranges. And I hear this big shriek, growl, kind of lower, just kind of like if I yelled, "Get the hell out of here," without worrying about using actual language type of a thing, right? It was just like this roar, like a King Kong roar in a way. Not that loud, obviously, not, that's obviously created by Hollywood, but that sort of thing. And all of the animals stop what they're doing, turn around and look up the hill behind them. Wait for a minute. Another one, another big old scream. They all turn around and just book it. And down the hill walks a baboon, a
Wow.
big ass baboon, and that dude was strutting like nobody's business. They walk on two legs, right? So he's walking on two legs with his arms swinging back and forth, big old biceps, right? This dude was huge, and he looks to his left, looks to his right. There's some animals that are kind of, just ran back, but they're hanging out, and he's letting them know what time it is. And he goes up and sits on top of the pile of oranges and starts eating. Man, that dude was like, this is where I hang. This is my program here.
My domain.
This is my domain. And I'm telling you what, that thing would have grabbed my arm and still had it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he'd have ripped my arm right off of my shoulder. I have no doubt.
Yeah.
He was a big old monkey. I don't know if they're whatever the hell they are, right? Baboon. So then where'd you go? So you spent 3 days up there getting eaten by bugs.
So I got the howl real quick. So actually one of the people that was there said that they used the sound of a howler monkey to emulate dinosaurs in Jurassic Park because nobody knows what they actually sounded like. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what one of them told us, and it's when you hear the call, I could see it. So this is a little video that I took.
No, man. Good.
Just the
Yeah,
most
no.
ominous sound that you could possibly imagine.
The problem is that noise, and then you find them, and they're not very big, right?
They're not.
Dude, that sounds like a Tyrannosaurus Rex is
Straight
gonna
up.
come pounding through the bushes and, making the water,
And when you're
uh
walking in the dark in the jungle at night and you hear that, you're like, "Nope."
nope.
Just
Yeah,
nope.
dude, because 'cause you're sure there's a T-Rex just waiting to eat you. That's
Something.
awesome.